everybody to the Non-Grown Knife Nerds podcast. My name is Gabriel, and we have Tyler on here, and we're going to have James, who is from Australia now, but he was not able to get on here because of technical difficulties, so we hope to have him in the next episode. But we're going to go on some topics here. So first is the topic, what we EDC'd today. I EDC'd the Kershaw Link. And what did you EDC?
I EDC'd the Kershaw Emerson CQC 5K.
Yeah, and so that's what we EDC'd, and that CQC, well, I know haven't really gotten anything new. I got a belt sander, I got a Dremel for knife making, stuff like that, but I know you got a few things new, so just say what you got for new acquisitions.
Well, when I was in Myrtle Beach, I got a auto knife, a push button auto for like $20 at a flea market. Got a cheap ass Balisong that's already falling apart. And I got a bunch of Swiss Army knives. Swiss Army knives with my name on it, with names and souvenirs.
Yeah, and he was doing air quotes because they're quote unquote Swiss Army knives. So I have some stuff written down on the notes. So we're going to first talk about what got us into knives. So what got you into knives, getting into it in the first place?
Well, it was a few things, but I think it all started when my dad's friend's mom died, who was a hoarder. He took us to her house, and I found a bunch of knives in there, like some Boy Scout knives and some knockoff Buck 110s, and I thought they were pretty cool. So I decided I wanted more.
How I got into knives was, my first knife was when I was 6. I got a $3.99 multi-tool, and I tried closing it by pushing against the blade. And so that's how that. But it wasn't super sharp, but it cut me pretty much to the bone. And so I told my dad not to give it to me, to take it away. And then after that, I ended up getting I got like a Stockman in between that and a knockoff Swiss Army knife. And then I got my first quote-unquote real knife, which was a Wenger Swiss Army knife, which was owned by Victorinox at the time when I got it. And I was 7 or 8 then. But I didn't really get into knives until I got my Mora 511, which was my first fixed blade. And I just thought they were really cool, and then I pretty much lost control, if you will. And I have way too many knives.
I don't, 247.
Well, I don't have as many as you, but our main topic for the episode that I want to talk about is knife brands. Like, what kind of brands do we like? Why do we like them? So, what's a brand that you like for starters?
Well, I like Cold Steel and Spyderco.
Yeah, and I don't have either of those. Actually, I do have a Cold Steel, and I do like Cold Steel. Although Cold Steel's marketing stuff and how they keep suing people, just kind of, they sued somebody for using San Mai, like a custom maker for using San Mai.
That's not, they patented an ancient way of knife making.
Yeah, and
if you will.
They're just, I like their knives, I don't like them as a company a whole lot, if that makes sense. Like,
the marketing strategy is that everyone else is garbage except them.
Yeah. They took a Kershaw Blur and they got it to fail because before their Cold Steel assisted triad lock, the Cold Steel Swift, and they're like, so you can see I would just not buy this Kershaw Link, and they're like, I realize that the Cold Steel is 4 times the price, but you know it's more strong. And anyway, they just keep suing people. Enough of a Cold Steel rant. And
what are they doing? Jacking cars up on it or something?
I don't know what they think people are doing with their knives. Then they tell you that this voids their warranty. So I don't know. Anyway, and then a lot of people don't like CRKT. I like CRKT. I realize they don't make the highest quality products, but I like because they get a lot of custom designers' designs into your hands for people that can't afford the custom versions of said knives.
Yeah, I've never had a COKT, but they have some pretty nice designs. But if they had some better steels, it would be awesome.
Yeah, they had an M16 come out in Sandvik, and then they have one that's still in the HCR with titanium for like $60. But it's a liner lock, and I handled one, and the liner is really sharp, and I hate the lock system on CRKTs, which is why,
that sucks.
yeah, my M16 I bought didn't come with a lock, so I bought their really small one. But the lock system is pretty easy if you disassemble it and take it out. But I like CRKT because of the variety of designs they offer. I just think they're really cool. I have a CRKT Fossil in my hand right now. And I really like this. This is my first knife on bearings. And then another brand I like for similar reasons to CRKT, except they do offer some better steels, like not like a lot better, but they have some exclusives with House of Blades and Knife Center with M390 and S35VN. So I have a Kershaw Link, and I really like this for the $35 price point you can get it for.
Yeah. I've thought about getting the COKT Septimo. Has like the straight blade and then has that little hump of a blade for like rope cutting. Pretty cool.
I don't remember that, so I'll Google that. But I recognize the name. But yeah, they have some weird designs like the CRKT Dactyl.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Dactyl.
Yeah, Cutlery Lover did a video on it like just a couple days before we were recording this. Oh yeah, that Septimo, that's where I recognize it. Jeremy Valdez did that one. The Art Deco, I don't know if you've seen that one, but that one looked really cool to me for $20. The little G10 handled slip joint. What's one of the things that makes you dislike a knife most, besides from build qualities, as far as a design element? Say the build quality is good, but it has a design flaw that makes you just not like it.
Well, as a lefty myself, I hate only right-handed pocket clips.
Yes.
I hate them. Even though I still carry a right-handed pocket clip knife in my left pocket with no problems.
Yeah.
It works fine for me.
And I'm right-handed, so I don't have that problem, but I can see. The Kershaw Link is ambidextrous, so that's good.
Yeah, what else? I hate assisted. Assisted is a sin.
I see. It depends on the assisted, because this Kershaw Link I have is assisted, but it's not too strong of an assist, and it's on phosphor bronze washers.
Yeah, the CQC I just bought is on Teflon, which I don't like.
Yeah, I don't love Teflon either, but on cheaper knives the assist tends to be so strong because they think, oh, that's the cool factor of the knife. People are going to buy this if it's faster, which is true, but it generally makes it not as good of a knife or not as nice of a knife to carry.
Yeah. I thought that at first, that if it was faster, it's better, until I got my Tenacious.
Yeah. And I was going to buy a Tenacious. I handled both the Rat 1 and the Tenacious in the store. And I ended up getting the Rat 1 and the Gerber Paraframe. The Gerber Paraframe is an absolutely horrible knife. Please do not buy that.
Horrible. I bought it.
I can literally take it and just fold it in my hands and make the lock fail. And you said that you tried that with yours and you could as well.
Yes.
So when Gerber just as a company, I have not bought anything from them in probably a year, and I don't plan on buying anything from them.
The Mini Paraframe, the first knife from Gerber I ever bought, and it's the last one. I just gave it to my brother today because he likes it.
Yeah,
$5.
I would not buy. Some of their USA made stuff is nice, but I don't really want to support a company that much that puts out the crappy stuff from China as well. Because Kershaw, at least their stuff maybe doesn't have as good fit and finish, but at least it doesn't have locks that'll fail or whatever.
Yeah. Well, most of the problem is that Fiskars bought them.
Yeah, Fiskars, and their quality is questionable. part of what makes me not like a knife as much is, one, when they have the pocket clip so tight against the scales and against a rubber inlay on the handle that you can't get it into your pocket at all.
Oh gosh, the pocket clip on my mini AK just bought is so tight.
Oh,
way tighter.
Like on a Buck Mini Iceman, which is a Canadian Tire and Canada exclusive, I believe, and there's one other web store that sells it, but it's not on Amazon, is horrible for that. You can't, you can, but I had to bend the clip up to be able to get it in your pocket. When it came, you could not.
Yeah, I was at Tractor Supply a couple weeks ago, and I almost thought about getting the big Iceman. I like it. I kind of like it.
It's nice. It's nice, but the pocket clip is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to carry it. It's just going to sit in my Apache case.
Yeah.
Because I'm mostly a collector.
And as far as fixed blades, what kind of fixed blades do you like?
Well, I do like a couple of the CRKT designs and K-bar. I like K-bar even though I don't have one.
I don't have a K-bar. I have a Buck 119, which is awesome.
Yeah, my first fixed blade was it's an old Smith & Wesson hunting knife with 1095 on it. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, it's like from the 80s, 70s or 80s. It's still in great condition. It's got a brass finger guard and a rubber handle.
So is it made in the U.S.?
Yep.
Yeah, because once
right on the blade.
Taylor Cutlery bought them, and then another company bought them, and it just went downhill from there. I have a Schrade 34OT, one of their slip joints, and it's not a horrible knife. I'm not going to say it's a horrible knife, but I wish that the quality was better, because there's just side-to-side blade play is inherent on any pinned knife. You're going to get that because it can't be all tightened down.
Exactly.
But the amount that's in it and how loose it is, it's some of their fixed blades look nice, and supposedly they've gotten better, but they just aren't as good as they used to be. But I really like Moras. I have 3 Moras, I think, and then I have the Ozark Trail Walmart Mora knockoff that I got for like $3, which is actually in its own right not a horrible knife. I'm not sure how long the tang goes into the handle, but it's not a horrible knife. So next I have I want to talk about a couple things with knife news coming up. One of them is the Civivi new sub-brand of knives, which look good, but I wish they had a bit better of a steel for the $42 than 9CR. Because 9CR is similar to 440C or slightly below from what I've looked at the chemical composition. It's like similar to 440C.
If they want to compete with the other brands, they gotta at least get some D2 on it.
Yeah, and I see why they didn't do that as a business perspective, because of their budget line being $100, and they have D2 and G10, so they're making a D2, or they're making a 9CR 18OV and G10 liner lock, when really, if they put D2 in it, the only thing you'd be getting is the milled pocket clip, which I get, but I also wish that we made smaller knives than what they're making in that Civivi.
I saw some Wii's when I was at Southern Edge Knife Works. I never knew they had karambits. They were pretty large.
I didn't know they had karambits either.
Can't find them on Amazon or nothing.
Yeah. The that mini kukri they had they finally released it and sold it for $102.
No, I actually thought about getting it if it was decently priced, but not for $102.
And I realize it's a decent steel and carbon fiber, but it's tiny. And I mean, there's like no use for it at all.
No, I saw it about a year ago on Birdshot IV.
Yeah, before it was released.
Yeah.
But I just wish that some of their Civivi and then their budget line. Civivi is a different sub-brand, but their quote-unquote budget line was smaller because they're all around they're all around 3.7 inches in their quote-unquote budget line, and then their Civivi, which is a sub-brand, so not technically with Wii, is the smallest is 3.5 and then 3.7, which I kind of wish they were smaller because, and like you were saying about the karambits, you don't really need karambits unless you're Ernie Emerson, which leads into the next topic of knife news, which is the Ernie Emerson Quaken.
Yeah, I've not heard about that yet.
That, I saw it on Instagram this morning, and you can hate me because you're a Nut and Fancy fan, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Nut and Fancy. He just likes Emerson's. Emerson's are not worth the money, to me, any way you paint it, and yes, I have handled them, and they were not good at all.
Exactly.
Horrible fit and
finish. They needed a complete overhaul.
Yeah. Horrible fit and finish, horrible detent, horrible centering, just horrible everything. And I just don't really feel like buying one of them. And it's...
No.
He just needs to, if he's going to keep making knives like this, he needs to overhaul his company. Because...
I mean, he's got the money.
He's got the money, yeah. And he basically said, I don't have the exact quote, but that he doesn't really care about fit and finish. And that to me
That's exactly what you want in a knife.
Yeah. And that to me is just I don't know. But anyway, that's the rant of, and well, let's actually talk about the design. I like the Quaken design. I think it's a cool design. And from Lucas Burnley. And I was thinking about buying it from Boker, but it just doesn't make sense made by Emerson. I was reading comments on the Instagram post by Atlantic Knife, and the person said, I'll wait until ZT makes it better. And I agree with that, because ZT makes them cheap, makes the Emersons cheaper and better than Emerson does themselves. And not much cheaper, sometimes around the same price. But I would not buy an Emerson. I mean, you can buy them and be happy with them, but those and Medford's are two very, very overpriced companies.
While on the topic of Medford, I saw the big Praetorian when I was at Southern Edge for $425.
That's not horrible, but what I have to say, that's not horrible relative to Medford's normal pricing. As far as normal pricing for a knife goes, it's still kind of horrible.
Yeah.
But
titanium and D2.
Yeah, titanium and D2, and that's not $425. I'm sorry. And they sell Marauder fixed blades on Amazon for $500. D2 and G10.
I'm sorry, that's $200 at the most.
I don't even know if it would be $200. I mean, D2, I've seen steel. I know how much D2 costs as a steel, looking into how much it would be to buy some for knife making. It's not that expensive, and you can put in tooling costs. Like Spyderco keeps raising their prices because of tooling costs, but it's not that expensive. I mean, obviously, I don't work for Medford. I don't ever intend to, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just would not buy those. It just does not seem worth it to me.
No.
And that's pretty much how I feel about Medford, is they have some cool designs that don't cut and are overpriced.
Exactly.
Like Lion Steel. I mean, Lion Steel's cut, but they're still thick behind the edge, and they're overpriced.
Exactly. Medford's edges are 2x4 thick.
You want to cut through your package with a 2x4? I'll help you do it for $800.
Only with Medford.
And but Lion Steel, they're sorry for these rants, but Lion Steel, their titanium integral frame locks. I realize integral is more expensive to machine. Aluminum does not cost that much, and Lion Steel needs to not sell them for that much.
Yeah.
And also on Teflon washers, which when you're paying $350 for a knife is pretty much a must-have in my books.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have Teflon. Like
Teflon would be enough to drag me away.
Like I don't know if you've seen it, but the Jason Guthrie Scout knife.
I've heard of it.
It's good execution of Teflon, but it's still Teflon, and it's a custom at like $2,000. And I'm not saying that knife actually looks pretty cool, and I don't think it's unreasonable because it's handmade, but just put bearings on it or phosphor bronze at least. Like Hinderer is doing the thing with the tri-way pivot, which was pretty cool with the phosphor bronze Teflon, or you can get bearings. I don't know why you'd want bearings, but you can get Teflon, which would be my pick.
Yeah. Have you seen that Gerber Hinderer rescue knife? It's like $80.
Gerber made a collaboration with Hinderer.
Yeah, it's like they made a rescue, like a firefighter's knife.
I have to look this up right now.
It is really overpriced. It's 7CR for $70.
It's got the Hinderer name on it, though.
That's an extra $60.
No, not $78. I didn't even know this existed. It shouldn't.
No.
Sorry for all you diehard Hinderer fans. It's not that I hate Hinderer's designs, and I'm glad they're changing to the tri-way pivot.
Isn't that good?
I do very strongly dislike Gerber. And
I'm with you.
here, I'm gonna go to Blade HQ, and I'm gonna read some of the description off. The Hinderer rescue knife is the design of a firefighter who saw the need to outfit a knife with all the critical tools required by first responders. The Hinderer knife incorporates a folding seat bedder, oxygen tank wrench, and window breaker punch into the handle. The steel liner lock frame has textured composite scales, not G10, and a release side. The 440 steel blade is partially serrated for multiple cutting tasks, and the tip is left unsharpened/dull for safe use. The oversized thumb stud allows for ease of use with or without gloves, and the tip-down pocket clip and lanyard hole makes this a must-have to keep close by. It's not even 7CR. It's
I could have
440.
sworn it was 7CR.
440A.
Yeah, you're paying for Hinderer here.
And it's Gerber. You know Gerber's gonna make it like crap.
Exactly. Let me guess, it's made in China.
Has a U.S. patent, if that helps.
USA design. USA.
Yep, blade material 440A.
I was watching Doc P19B. He said it was 7CR.
Well, he got it wrong. Did he like the knife?
He liked it.
Of course he would.
Well, he's a diehard Hinderer.
Yeah.
And Strider.
Glass filled nylon
which handles, I like
Strider. 440A blade. So it looks like it's made in the U.S. actually.
Well, that could add about $20.
Still, 440A at $79 with an unsharpened tip, which I understand why they're doing the unsharpened tip. I'm not knocking that. I'm saying would cost them less money to not sharpen the tip. That's at least I obviously don't work with CNC. Well, no, I don't work with CNC, but that would be my guess is it costs them less to not sharpen the tip.
Yeah.
Anyway, please don't buy that knife. Doc P19B or Doc P91B. If you see this, I'm sorry, but I disagree with your views on this. But
might as well call us the non-grown knife snobs.
I don't even have any high-end knives. My most expensive knife is I'm not sure exactly how much it costs, but it's a Fiddleback Forge custom, which was given to me, and so I don't know.
I've never heard of Fiddleback.
I had to Google them. I had never heard of it before. Of course, I'm not really into the custom world at all, so I wouldn't. Other than I've listened to Knife Cast with Dr. Frunky, which is a good podcast for high-end stuff. Ooh, Gerber Firefighter design. This is such a Ken Onion design, too.
Ken Onion, I don't really like Ken Onion's designs.
I like some of his designs, but some of them are just... they would work, they just don't look good to me.
No.
I like the Kershaw Leak. I like the design on that one, although I get that I still want it, but I've heard that it's really slippery. If you're looking for a laugh, go watch Nick Shabazz's review of the Kershaw Leak.
I've seen that.
It was hilarious. It's completely accurate. Completely accurate. I need to... And what about SOG? How is SOG as a company? They are... I mean, when they're putting out stuff like the Traction, it's hard not to take them seriously.
Plastic and 5CR.
But it's only $20.
Yeah, and you could also get G10 and 440C from a Ganzo for less.
Yeah, for around the same price, you can get bearings on a Ganzo with G10.
Yeah, or you can get the labeled carbon fiber on them.
You could get like a Buck Bantam, which is a better knife.
I might pick one up.
A Buck Bantam, they're pretty great for $15.
I like the Typhoon or whatever color on them. I forget what it's called.
The Typhoon is a Sharp by Design The Tyfec or whatever, Cryptech or whatever the camo color's called.
Oh, that's what I meant on the Bantam. Forget what they're called. The color.
I'm looking up in mine right now. I've had two Bantams, one black and one camo, and the one black one I lost it, but it was good, and then the second one that I have now is completely beat up by whoever I bought it from used on eBay.
How much you buy it from? How much you buy it for?
I bought that plus another knife for $8, so I wasn't out a whole lot. The other knife was actually pretty good. It was a Taiwan-made buck, which there's not a whole lot of Taiwan-made bucks. But somebody used this to baton and then stuck it in a tree and pried as hard as they could without breaking it.
Cold steel.
But theirs would hold up.
Yeah. Want to know who reuses designs so much?
Who?
Demco.
8015?
Cold Steel's Demco designs they're so similar to each other.
Cold Steel Pro Light to Cold Steel Working Man. What does that extra $5 get you?
Nothing.
No, it gets you Steve Austin on the blade.
Stone Cold?
Yeah. The coldest of Stone Steel Cold Austin. I can't even speak today. But yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin. I do like the Broken Skull design. How much design I don't think he actually designed the Working Man. I think they slightly changed it from the Pro Light and then charged an extra $5. But people bought it. Oh, you want to get it?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to hear something funny?
No.
That Hinderer Gerber is sold out on Blade HQ.
Who's buying them?
People who are diehard Hinderer and Gerber fans at the same time.
The two people I hate in the knife world.
No offense to everybody, I'll put a disclaimer in the description of this podcast. Nothing we say is meant to be seriously taken and used against these knife makers. please don't sue us or something like that. Like Cold Steel keeps suing people. Greg Bedford is an interesting character. If you look at his Instagram, he posted like a nude photo of him grinding a knife on a grinding stone. He took it down, but it was interesting, very interesting. So anyway,
you want to know something funny about Cold Steel?
What?
So there's this TV show called World's Dumbest Inventions, and Cold Steel was on it for the two-handed longsword. I'll send you the video.
Of course they were. Of course it was Cold
They were
Steel.
like making fun of him and stuff, like why he spent all the money into making the castle set up if he's gonna dress business casual.
Oh, my nerves. That's something special right there.
They're like making jokes about it, or like chopping the pigs in half.
Yeah. My Cold Steel Kudu, I saw them. They're like, it can hold 100 pounds. Isn't that a strong knife? And then they chopped a pig in half and cut some hose.
They hung, I think, 200 pounds off the mini AK.
Yeah.
150.
They probably started to hang 200 off of the Kudu, and because it's such a light knife and it doesn't have the triad, it probably failed at like 190, so they just cut the footage and said, wow, it can hold 100 pounds. But anyway,
they made a bad decision.
So far what you've learned from this
ACR.
podcast is we are both young, we both like knives, and neither of us like Gerber or Hinderer.
Or Lion Steel.
Or Lion
Emerson.
Steel. Or Emerson, yeah.
Or Sog.
Or Sog. Definitely not Sog. And you've learned that we do like Kershaw and CRKT, Spyderco, and I like Ontario, although the only knife I've had from them, which was my Rat 1, had some warranty problems, so I've sent it in and they are replacing it because the lock would fail if you hit it on the surface of stuff. I'm going to enlighten anybody listening to this, because this is our first episode, it's probably nobody. I'm going to Google knifenews.com and I'm going to give you the most enlightening news. Is there any enlightening news? The rise of front flipper. Lucas Burnley weighs in on the mid-tech question. I listened to a podcast today by Mark the Maker with Lucas Burnley as a guest. So basically, what Lucas Burnley is saying is he's basically ditching calling anything mid-tech, so it's not super interesting. Leon Mod Track XL leads the charge for line of runner-friendly knives. The Track XL is the latest Kickstarter project from Gear on the Fly, a Boston-based maker of fixed blade tools for runners, hikers, and other adventurers. Sounds like the back of a Ganzo box. And will spearhead an entire line of runner-friendly knife. A portable titanium fixed blade knife. So, I don't want that, but are they going to take all the money from the Kickstarter, like Paul Balzano, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Find out on the next episode. Maybe. Paul Balzano. He still makes knives, but I don't think he goes to the shows anymore. Did you know about that whole thing with him?
No.
He's basically a custom maker who started Kickstarter, got $33,000 for it, took the money, and didn't make any of the knives for the Kickstarter.
Scam.
Enough on that subject, because that's a fairly sensitive subject for some, but, wouldn't be supporting. I don't even have the money to support him, even if I wanted to, which I don't, but, yeah. So anyway, that's a lot of rambling. based on random knife news articles. What YouTube channels, this is just a random topic, what YouTube channels for knives are your favorite that you watch?
Well, Boshot IV, for sure.
I'll link all of these in the, if I can, in the podcast description.
Nick Shabazz, so many more. Can't think of them all.
If I picked top 5, mine would probably be Advanced Knife Bro, Cedric Aiden at Gear and Outdoors, Birdshot IV, Nick Shabazz, and Cutlery Lover, probably.
Oh yeah, I would just have to choose Shabazz, Birdshot IV, Cutlery Lover, and Shortcut Reviews. And I don't know.
But, so those are our YouTube channels. I'll link all, or not our YouTube channels, the YouTube channels we like. I'll link them in the description. Also, Dr. Frunky is cool. He has a cool channel. He does a lot of high-end stuff, though, that neither of us can afford. At least I don't think you can afford $3,000 customs. I mean, maybe you can.
If I had $3,000, I probably wouldn't buy one.
Yeah. But currently I don't have $3,000. And
Neither do I.
If I had $3,000, I would probably spend it on a bunch of knife making equipment. Currently, just because that's what I want to get more stuff into.
If I had that $3,000, I'm going on vacation.
That ballast song, though, it's so sharp.
So sharp.
He's got a ballast song with him right now, and he's it's so sharp that you can slide it against your hand and it doesn't cut you. Tell us, put like an email, and email me if you want to. It's probably too much trouble, but if you've gotten those $1.25 dollar store knives, because I got one of those, and on a live stream on my YouTube channel, I broke it in half with a Swiss Army knife and my hands.
I've stuck one in my bunk bed and snapped it right in half.
They're so...
Triad lock without the triad.
Yeah, triad lock without the third pin. But plastic pocket clip, which kind of like the
Spyderco.
Spyderco makes plastic pocket clips.
They used to.
They invented the pocket clip, which is cool. Triad lock quality. One of the other knives I can think of with a plastic pocket clip is it was never in production, but this CRKT Sabenza.
That.
And I didn't mean to say CRK Sabenza. I meant to say CRKT, Columbia River Knife and Tool. Because if you didn't see the video that Nick Shabazz made, or you haven't heard about it, they tried to do a collaboration. And basically they made a Sabenza with a plastic handle. It's not glass-filled nylon. It's not G10, just plastic. And then made a plastic frame lock. And they put a little thin spring steel bar and a lock bar insert into the piece of plastic and called it Perfect. And decided that was their knife and they're going to produce that. Basically, they brought it to Chris Reeve. He said no, and they left. And there was only a few of them ever made prototypes. Because he was like,
I would have said no.
Because they were getting ready for the collaboration, and Chris Reeve was like, "What you trying to say to me?" and said no, and they left, and sadly weren't able to make that in production. But
sadly,
the reason
I think it was a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. But I'd like CRKT because of their designs. The CRKT Jettison I have, which is what I'm flipping right now, is a little bit thick behind the edge. Well, a lot thick behind the edge because of the stupid thick blade stock. But I put like a 20-degree Lansky sharpened edge on it, and so it shaves and cuts and whatever. So it's sharp. That's one of my biggest gripes is when if you go to flip the knife, there's a little corner like on this jettison, which digs into your hand when you try to flip it. So I had to get used to flip this without making that dig into my hand, or else it would leave like a sore in your hand because it's sharpened and unchamfered. So like doing it like that, it leaves a mark in your hand, the corner of it. I did a mirror polish on the back of this spacer, which is kind of scratched up now because it's aluminum. But that's my only knife. That's basically the furthest I've gone with the knife mod. I want to get more into knife modding, but I don't really have the stuff other than sandpaper. I have a bench grinder, sandpaper, drill press, belt sander, Dremel, all that kind of stuff. But no ferric chloride, which is what you need to do an acid wash. I kind of want to try doing an acid wash. Is there any other topics you'd like to bring up for the podcast?
No, I think we're good.
So, this is the first episode of the Non-Grown Knife Nerds podcast. This is a bit short because we didn't have James on here. We were trying to get him connected, and because he lives in Australia, he was not able to connect, and so sadly, we're going to try to connect next episode, which we're going to try to make this a bi-monthly thing, so twice a month. So let's do shout-outs for our social media. So where can people find you?
They can find me at Tyler_the_cryptid if you like memes, or you can go to Headhunter_Cutlery for knives.
And for me, I've got Blackwood_Blades on Instagram, and on YouTube, I've got Blackwood Blades. Do some knife reviews and stuff on there. So hope you enjoyed this. Tell us if you enjoyed it. It was a little bit short, but hopefully we didn't bore you too much. I'll probably cut out some of the longer pauses. But tell us what you think of the podcast, and we will talk to you on the next episode. Bye.